Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to DreamWorks Switch to Life. And in today's video, because today marks its 15th anniversary, we're going to review Scared Shrekless. And I just gotta say that I love this short film because it is genuinely scary. And it just gave me the creeps as a kid when I was watching this. And nowadays, it's still really good. So in case you're wondering when this takes place, it's after Shrek Forever After, but it's celebrating the kids' first Halloween, which probably means that their actual first Halloween, they just skipped it because they were too young to actually enjoy it. So without further ado, let's dive into it. First off, animation quality. The fact that this Halloween special was made by the same people who created the movie is actually really good because the animation just really shines. It's fluid and it just looks amazing. As for the music, I gotta say that I didn't really enjoy it with a few exceptions. First off, the background music is kind of Halloween-y, but nothing really stands out. There was also a pop song, which is a staple in the Shrek franchise, but it didn't really stand out. The one song that did stand out, however, was Welcome to Duloc Halloweenified.
We will chop off your head and then laugh when you're dead. Duloc is a creepy place.
Ooh, let's do that again. No!
As for the voice acting, I loved most of the voice acting. They got a lot of characters to come back with their voices from the movie. The exception being that Eddie Murphy did not come back to play Donkey. But honestly, I didn't even notice until I looked up who was in the cast. The guy they got to play Donkey sounds exactly like him, and I absolutely enjoy that. The only two characters who don't sound like their movie counterparts is Lord Farquaad, who, let's be honest, probably a good reason. And then there's Prince Charming, who I get why they didn't bring his actor back since he only had 2 lines, but still. Now, without further ado, it's time to dive into the story. So, the thing is, the story, I said it was genuinely scary, but it's actually not. It's basically just Shrek, Donkey, and the rest of the fairy tale gang go to Castle Duloc so that they can tell each other scary stories and see who can last through the night and claim the title of being the king of Halloween. Now, we learned that in Shrek the Halls, ogres don't celebrate anything. That's not true because they celebrate Halloween. They're the kings of it. They're supposed to be terrifying and they scare people. This is their holiday. So Shrek isn't at all scared of losing the title of King of Halloween to anyone. So they get to tell their stories, and it starts with Gingi telling the story, The Bride of Gingi.
Get ready to send these jokers home, Shrek, because I've got a doozy. And it's all true.
It starts when Gingi is kicked out by his girlfriend, so he asks the Muffin Man to create him a new girlfriend. The problem is, Gingi decides to increase the amount of sugar by 100-fold because he wants the girl to be really sweet to him. So, when the girl named Sugar comes out of the oven, she is very sweet to him, to the point where after 8 minutes, he realizes that she is way too clingy and he tries to run away from her. But since they're inside the Muffin Man shop, she manages to find him, at which point they end up on a conveyor belt where they're going to be thrown into cooking batter, and eventually Gingi just kicks Sugar into the batter, managing to escape with his life. Unfortunately, Gingi accidentally turned on the baking machine so it would bake dozens of cookies, so when Sugar comes out of the oven, there's hundreds of zombie Sugars, and they all go to Gingi's house and attack him, at which point they eat him.
Wait a minute. If they ate you, how is it that you're still here?
Did you not say this was a true story?
Hey, look! Lord Farquaad's ghost! Ah!
Yeah, so a lot of people left after that story, but it's time to move on to the next story, where Puss in Boots tries to tell the story of Boots Motel, but constantly gets interrupted by Donkey, who keeps trying to kill him in the story. First by having Prince Charming attack him in the shower, only for Puss to leap to safety and then fall into a trap door and then use magic and blah blah blah, and unfortunately, I just didn't really like this story.
It was horrible and sad how Puss pleaded for mercy. mercy, please.
It's fun to see the dynamic of a donkey and puss, but the actual story itself was not great. It really suffered because of that. But as we all know, Puss in Boots is our favorite fearless hero. So, what caused him to leave?
But what Puss didn't know is that right behind him was the one thing he feared more than anything else. You didn't. I did. No! Anything but that! No! The end.
I'm pretty sure that's cheating.
It worked, didn't it?
After that, there's only Donkey, Pinocchio, and Shrek left. So Shrek tells the story of the Shreksorcist. Essentially, he interacts with the kid, who is Pinocchio, being possessed by a demon. And Shrek is there to try to get the kid under control, because he has 3 ogre kids, but this isn't just every average kid. This is probably my favorite of the stories because Pinocchio is genuinely horrifying in this.
He's out of bed again, isn't he? Well, you never have this problem with sock puppets.
He does a lot of things that you would get with exorcist tropes, but like flying, throwing up, a lot of puke, and even like yelling around and moving super fast. And eventually, Shrek just gets super angry with Pinocchio, so Pinocchio runs out the window and ends up falling down a flight of stairs, which causes a bug to fall out of his ear. His conscience, essentially the demon that's possessing Pinocchio, telling him to do all of the crazy stuff that's going on, and Pinocchio just squashes him out of fear. Now, this tells me a bit about Pinocchio's backstory. Pinocchio blames himself for somehow losing his conscience. That, or he's ashamed of ever having a bug inside of his head, and he's kind of creeped out right now, but the final straw is when Shrek pulls out a little cricket, and Pinocchio just runs away in horror. Now, I doubt this was the intention of the creators, but I do like the fact that we actually get to see that Pinocchio blames himself for losing his conscience, when in reality, it was stolen by Big Jack Horner, probably the very first magical creature that he ever stole. I mean, it's a fun little theory, but honestly, it just fits, and it explains so much about Pinocchio and why he's still a wooden puppet instead of a real boy. So now it's just Shrek and Donkey left, and unfortunately they both told their stories, so now all that's left to do is wait for Lord Farquaad's ghost. Yeah, apparently Shrek thinks that Farquaad is still haunting the halls of Castle Duloc, and he blames Donkey for his untimely demise, because Donkey ordered a dragon to eat him. Then random stuff starts moving around, there's a booming voice, and Donkey is genuinely horrified when a suit of armor activates and reveals 2 glowing eyes. The ghost of Lord Farquaad is out to kill him. So Donkey runs away, and Shrek just laughs because it's actually a scare prank. Yeah, Fiona and the ogre triplets were responsible for all of the moving stuff and the thunder and the booming voice. Some fireflies were even responsible for the glowing eyes in the suit of armor. And as the last person in Castle Duloc, Shrek has officially won the title of King of Halloween. And so he joins his family to pull off one last prank, pelting the 7 dwarves with 7 eggs. And that's it for Scared Shrekless. And honestly, I gotta say, I enjoyed this holiday special, and it might actually be my favorite DreamWorks Halloween special in general. And a big reason is because, aside from Boots Motel, which was more chaotic, this was genuinely scary, and I absolutely enjoyed it. But of course, what do you guys think? Make sure to leave your thoughts down below in the comment section, and also, if you were taken to tell a scary story, what spooky story would you tell? But with all that out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, if you want to support the channel, be sure to join my membership program, or you can just do the free option and subscribe. But until then, make sure that you guys are staying safe out there, or not, because I want you guys to have a happy Halloween! Bye-bye!
Who's next in our little contest? Oh, has anyone seen the mice?
Are we there yet?